Hello, everybody. I know I don't have like many subscribers. I don't even know if my one or two subscribers even watch my videos, but I mostly have this channel really for myself and for self reflection. It's like a video journal, but anyway, I want to get down to a topic that I feel like a lot of us women we are quite familiar with, which is compromising our standards when we're dating a man and putting a lot of ourselves into situations where it's just not beneficial for us. And I also want to talk about like the signs and symptoms of our gut and our women's intuition trying to tell us that this person's wrong for us, and yet we keep refusing and refusing to acknowledge what our intuition is telling us. So, um, and also, I also want to talk about what it's like to date a low key narcissist, or at least what I think this person has narcissistic tendencies. So, so I made a very dumb mistake for about maybe the third, fourth, fifth time. I don't even know. I lost count at this point because, people in love can be quite stupid, and I was no exception. Um, I tried fixing things with my ex from Europe, from Eastern Europe, since I want to say it's hard to tell because honestly we were constantly breaking up and getting back together. So, but I want to say like the past year, at least the past year, we've been trying to like see where things can go between us. But I think I finally opened my eyes and I saw that he's just an opportunist and he's a low key narcissist because the whole time we were dating, I realized that my future husband would never do this to me. And I was really settling for less. Um, it's been about, it's been over a year. I want to say like more than a year and a half since I last spoke to my mother. And I'll talk about that in a different video. My mother, who I know for sure is a narcissist because she would blame me for everything that went wrong in her life, and she refused to take any accountability and she refused to take any accountability and never had any self-reflection and treated people very poorly and would always play the victim. And I know the word narcissism gets thrown around a lot, but I think it comes with being really immature and not knowing how to take accountability. Like when a person has no empathy, no sympathy, no accountability, or doesn't know how to face life, and they really have bad conflict resolution skills, they tend to be narcissists because it's easier for them to play the victim or to blame other people or to blame the world or to even say sorry but not really mean it because they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm the problem. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that like I don't have my flaws, like I do. Like I'm not a perfect person. I know I've messed up a lot too. Like, but it's to the point where I felt like I was the one constantly giving to these people and they were just taking away from me and chipping away at my self-worth. And I knew I didn't deserve to be treated like that. So about 2 days ago, I decided to block my ex and go no contact because I realize he's never gonna change. He's always gonna be wanting attention from other girls, which tells me he doesn't respect our relationship. And I mean, some of you may disagree with me on this, but my core value is when a man really loves a woman, or even when a woman really loves a man, he is gonna focus all of his energy and all of his attention to that woman. And I've seen it happen with my guy friends too. I've seen it where they fall in love with this girl and they're like, that's it. She's the one. Like, I love her and I don't want to risk losing her. And because I don't want to risk losing her, I'm gonna cut off any ties I have to women that I have no business, like, having a tie to. Like, I had a guy friend that I wasn't really that close to. We just met, like, through mutual friends. But he unfriended me, and it was fine. Like, I wasn't close to him, so I didn't take it personally. But I saw, like, a bunch of his statuses before he unfriended me. And, like, we didn't have any bad blood. I never messaged him. Like, we just had mutual friends. That's the only reason, like, I added him, is because we would play together with mutual friends online. And once he found what I'm guessing is the love of his life, he unfriended other girls and just had her and his family, his sister, his mom, as his close friend group. And I know why he's doing it, because he doesn't even want to risk losing this woman by making her think, why does he have this girl added? What is their relationship? Do they talk every day? He doesn't even want to risk that thought going into her mind. So he unfriended all these girls. And I was like, that's the kind of guy I need. That's the kind of guy that I'm looking for. That's husband material. And that kind of got me thinking. Like, I'm dating a guy. And funny enough, on my Instagram, I got a reel that also I felt like was another sign that said, I may be single now, but at least I'm not writing paragraphs to my boyfriend begging him to love and respect me. And I kind of laughed to myself because I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I've been doing the whole time I've been dating him. I've been writing like novels and paragraphs of begging him to stop trying to get close to these other girls. And he tries to turn it around on me by making me sound like I'm jealous and I'm controlling. It's like, no, it's not a control thing, it's a respect thing. And it shows me that you are not ready for marriage. Like, you're still a little boy. You still want other people to like you. So narcissists, um, they don't care about your boundaries. And this was not news to him. He's known me for 2 years. And I even told him, like, I've been cheated on by my baby daddy. And my baby daddy would do the exact same thing. He was friends with like 99% girls, and he put himself in a position where cheating was easy because he had this unnecessary intimacy with these other girls, where the line between friendship and a sexual relationship was very thin. And my ex is probably too inexperienced and immature to know that right now. But, you know, I've been in 5 relationships and plenty of situationships where I wasn't born yesterday. Like, guys, guys are friends with women because a woman doesn't see them as, basically they're in the friend zone because of the woman. They're only friends because a woman wants them to only be friends. Guys are friends with women they are attracted to. Guys are not friends with women that they're not attracted to. And how do I know this? because 99.9% of my guy friends hit on me. They hit on me, they ask me out, or at the very least, they try to sleep with me. So I wasn't born yesterday. Even when I'm in relationships, guys don't care, and my ex was no different. My ex, my ex doesn't even respect other people's relationships, so it was dumb of me to think he was gonna respect our relationship. So, yeah. So, one of the telling signs that you're dating a narcissist is that he doesn't respect your boundaries, which he didn't. And the funny thing is, I would have had no issue if he were to have told me, I want you to unfriend all these guys. I want you to stop talking to guys you slept with. I understand your baby daddy because you have to have a relationship with him because of your son for co-parenting, but any guy that used to like you or any guy friend that's not related to you, like, I don't want you to talk to them. I would have had no problem. No problem. I'd be like, you know what, baby? I don't want you to think that something's going on between me and these guys, so I'll do it. But I bet you anything, the only reason he didn't do that was because I would have asked him to do the same thing. And he didn't want to give up his girlfriends. So I kept thinking, like, the past 2 years, he would get so defensive anytime I would question the nature of his friendship with these other girls. He would get so protective of me questioning why he's talking to them. And that's already making himself look really suspicious. Like, why are you fighting with me so hard for you to keep talking to these girls? And now I know it's because he's a narcissist and he's trying to see if he can get with them. I'm not dumb. And Akush, if you're watching this, like, you're not as smart as you think you are. And you need to stop trying to have a girlfriend if you still want to be talking to all these girls. And eventually, you're gonna piss off one of these girls' boyfriends, and this guy's gonna kick your ass. Just saying. I'm just warning you. Anyway, so my ex was being a dirty little weasel and trying to add girls, trying to get close to girls. And he'll be like, oh, she's just a coworker. Oh, she's just my friend. It's like, well, you keep acting like I'm supposed to be your future wife and the mother of your children, but you're not acting like a guy who's ready to get married. You're acting like a high school guy trying to add all these girls to boost your ego. Because my ex thinks he's ugly. He thinks that women don't want him, so he thinks, oh, if I add women and I flirt with them, and maybe if I get them to like me, maybe that means I'll be a giga chad, and that means I'll be an alpha male, and that means that I'll be like, he thinks if he gets all these girls to like him, he's gonna feel better about himself. That's not how that works. You have to love yourself, and he doesn't love himself. So I can't expect him to love me in a healthy way when he doesn't even love himself. He doesn't even respect himself, and he lies to himself. He does not take accountability. He doesn't think about me. He doesn't think about how I would feel when he does things. He doesn't think about other people at all. He just does things without even thinking twice about it, without thinking about the consequences or how would my girlfriend feel if I did this, and which screams immaturity. And, like, the thing is, in the very beginning, he made himself look like he was this generous guy. Like, he did sweep me off my feet. But then I realized, like, narcissists can love bomb you, which is what happened. He really, really wanted me to like him. More than likely, he just wanted me to have sex with him. But then this last year, I've gone through a lot. And I had to cut off my mother, who was a toxic narcissist. And I realized that my ex was also a toxic narcissist. Him and my mom are quite similar, where they both have low self-esteem. They both blame other people. They play the victim. when people explode, because like I exploded with both my mother and my ex because I couldn't take it anymore. Like I communicated with them. Like I would tell them, stop doing this, it hurts me, please. Like I'm telling you, this triggers me. Like it's not good for my mental health, it hurts me. Like please don't do this. And they do it because they don't care. They don't care how I feel. And that's a narcissist. A narcissist only cares about themselves. And they're gonna keep shitting on every relationship they have until they have no choice but to look in the mirror and be like, maybe it's because of me and how I treat people like crap. So, he kept liking these other girls' profiles. And even when we were together, when a girl would post or update her profile picture, when we were supposed to be engaged, like he would like his childhood friend's profile picture. He would like this other girl's profile picture when she would update it. It's like, maybe to you that might be innocent, I'm just a like, but I'm a grown ass woman. I know what that means. It's you showing interest in that girl. And that is humiliating to me. Because if I were to ever talk to that girl and if we were to have a disagreement, she'd be like, well, that's why your man is liking my profile pictures on my Facebook, because he's interested in me and doesn't respect you enough to only focus on you. So he's letting other girls know that he likes the way they look. He's putting himself out there, kind of like giving himself a business card, like, I see you. And I want you to know that I see you and I like the way you look. And some of you may laugh, some of you may think that's ridiculous, but to me it's not ridiculous. To me it's a matter of respect. Like, can you imagine being married to someone and having 3 children, and this grown ass man is adding his coworkers and liking these women's? What do you think the woman's gonna think when she sees that? It's gonna think like, oh, this guy's interested in me. Like, that's what it means. Like, I know I've been on the receiving end too. I've had guys that liked my profile picture and added comments that eventually I realized they wanted to get with me, either because they told me or because they asked me out. Like, it happens. Like, he forgets I'm a girl and I've gone through this too. Like, I know when a guy shows interest in a woman, that's what he was doing. He was exhibiting that same behavior. So, and even when we were broken up, he wasn't trying to fix himself. Like, I got his algorithm because he would share Instagram reels with me, right? And when you're friends or you follow someone on Instagram, Instagram shares with you things that your followers or the people you follow like. So I started getting reels of Slavic women are superior and Russian women all look like models, and like why Slavic women are the best women, and are you interested in dating Slavic women? Sign up on this site, like kind of ad. And I'm like, okay, so you think it's a culture thing. You're blaming me because of things not working out. You think a Slavic woman's gonna want to put up with your shit too? Like, I know the kind of men Slavic women look for. They're looking for like this alpha male, which he's clearly not, or this super rich providing guy, which he's not. He's not super rich, and he was a shit provider because I needed him this last year. I was living paycheck to paycheck. My money was on a negative, and then I asked myself, if I was a man and I was dating a single mom who told me repeatedly, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to pay my bills because I'm raising a special needs child and my money is just taking a nosedive. And guess what? Throughout the course of our relationship, I spent probably like around $8,000 on him. That's $8,000 of my savings that I spent on him because I thought he was worth it, which was mostly a total waste. Total waste of money because I need that money now. Because I was in love and I was stupid, I spent that money on him. I mean, it was worth it. It was worth seeing Europe. It was worth it for seeing Europe. But it was not worth having a relationship with him because I need that money now. And my little boy needs that money now. And it was a very stupid decision on my part. And I saw that he would spend, and he showed me that he went to a bar one night and spent 100 euros of taking out probably one of the girl coworkers out to a bar. He's able to spend money on his coworkers, but he's not able to send money to the future mother of his children, to the woman that's supposed to be the one for him. No. I know if I was a man, or even if I was dating a woman, and I didn't have children, and she would tell me like, baby, I'm struggling to pay the bills because I have, a son to pay. Like, I'm not expecting him to give me his whole check, but like $50, $40, $60 a month, something that says here, like or what bill are you struggling with? Let me see if I can help. Like, sorry, that was my phone. I know if I was a man, I would want my woman to know that I was there for her and that I can provide for her. Because I know when a man is in love, he wants to provide for her. He wants to show her, I can take care of you. And you don't need to worry about that. Let me worry about that. He didn't do that for me. And I didn't deserve that. I deserve the man that wants to take care of me. Not a man that puts more problems on my shoulders. Not a man that doesn't care how I feel. He's not even a man. He's a little boy. And I started to realize how much of a coward he is. So it may sound kind of harsh, but he lost his father earlier this year in April. And his father was battling his mental health. His father was suffering from suicidal depression, which was something I suffered with when I was like in my teens. And then I suffered from postpartum depression when I had my son. And he distanced himself from me because that time he yelled at me because he defended his friendship with his coworker. And I broke up with him and I deleted him and I blocked him. I reached out to him because I heard he got into an accident and I was worried about him. And he kept telling me he wasn't ready for a relationship, despite him flirting with me, despite him showing interest, despite him complimenting me, despite him trying to sext me. And it would leave me feeling very confused, like he was sending mixed signals. And then later on he tells me, I'm scared to be in a relationship with you because I know you used to be suicidal and I'm scared of you killing yourself if I were to be with you. But when have I ever told you I wanted to kill myself? I told you I felt that way when I was 13 and living with my mom. And then it got me thinking, oh, he's a coward. He's a coward. And the person that had the guts, the person that had the balls to spend the most money, to travel by themselves halfway across the world to meet the other person was me. And I realized I have more guts, I have more courage, I have more balls than my own boyfriend. I don't like that. Because it makes me feel like I'm the man in the relationship and he's like the princess. And so I realized that even when we were broken up, he He thought the answer of him being happy was to go back to dating his own culture. And I'm like, it's not a culture thing, it's a respect thing. And you don't know how to listen. When someone tells you stop doing this, it hurts me, you're supposed to take it seriously. And I'm very sure you're gonna go through the same thing with any other Eastern European woman. They can be just as jealous, I've heard, if not worse. And so I started to see, like, okay, he's probably talking like all this smack about me, all this, probably trying to like make people feel sorry for him, as if I'm the villain and he's the victim, as if he's the victim and all this. And I realized, when I needed him the most, he wasn't there for me. When I was going through a hard time with my mother and I was running low on money, he didn't help me out. He didn't lift a finger to help me. He was spending money on other people, but not me. I spent money on him, probably way more money than he spent on me. And for what? To get taken for granted so he can add other girls and tell them how because you're Russian, you look like a supermodel. Like, I don't need that disrespect in my life. I have other guys that are dying to be with me. The other day, I had unfriended a guy because I was going out with him, and he friend requested me again because he heard I was single, because I was advertising it on Facebook. And he's like, hey, I miss you. Like you're really beautiful. Give me your number. And I was like, well, why should I? And I'm like, I'm not like down to hook up anymore. I'm done with hooking up with people. Like, they would get the wrong idea. They would get attached to me, or I'm just done with that. Like, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not hooking up with people anymore. I want to focus on myself. And he's like, no, I'm not asking to hook up. Like, I felt a connection with you. Like, I want to take you on a real date. And like, and not gonna lie, like, you're really attractive, and it's gonna sound silly. He's like, I like women that have big boobs. And I'm like, well, there's other women that have big boobs. I'm not the only one here. It's like, well, I don't want those other women. I want you. And I know this guy. And I know he was being serious. And I know it was very like pervy and corny, but like what he said, I don't want those other women. I want you. I felt a connection with you. Can I have your number? I want to talk to you. I want to ask you out. That's a man that knows what he wants. And he's been around the block. Like, he's dated a few girls. Yeah, he's been around sexually, but honestly, I prefer that over a lonely virgin, because lonely virgins become idiots with any girl that pays attention to them. Like, I think at this point, if we're one of those stereotypical 80s movies, I think I'd rather go with the popular guy, because the popular guy is used to all this attention. And he's like, okay, like, this girl's only with me because I'm rich. This girl's only with me for my status. I want a girl that loves me for who I am. I want something real. And the lonely nerd is just gonna want to date a girl that's hot that other guys are jealous of. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if it's like a real connection. He doesn't care like about making the girl happy. He just wants it for like shallow reasons. And my ex was really shallow. And he wasn't exactly a very deep thinker either. Like, he never really got to know me as a person. He just liked that I liked him. Like, and the reason he got so defensive about not wanting to stop talking to these other girls is because that's the supply. The narcissist thrives on attention, on validation, because they have low self-esteem. So they're looking for external validation to feel good about themselves. And so having girls in his life was a supply. I was like, okay, I want attention from this girl. I want attention from that girl. I want attention from this girl. I want her to acknowledge me. I want to get to know her because it makes me feel good about myself to be talking to these attractive girls. And if they were to like me, even better. I want them to like me. I want them to like me, maybe even fall for me. That way I can feel better about myself. That way I can actually feel like I'm attractive and wanted. And this is what happens when a person doesn't love themselves, doesn't have courage, and doesn't know what they want. And honestly, the moment, and my gut was telling me the whole time, my even like I would have dreams. I would have dreams of him flirting with other girls and him ignoring me. I had a dream about him sleeping with a girl that was very skinny and very short, like having like they had like they hooked up, and her like leaving right away and him like getting up in a frenzy. Like it was such a vivid dream. And 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 then I remembered like a few days after that he told me, "Oh, I really like it when we cuddle after we have sex." And then it kind of like made me have a reaction because a few days before I had a dream. And I don't like to tell a lot of people this, but I feel like sometimes I have premonitions where I have like visions of people that I have a connection with, of what they're doing. And my body's trying to protect me and my body's trying to warn me. And I'm like, he specifically said he likes it when we cuddle after we have physical intimacy. And just a few days ago, I had a dream of him hooking up with a girl, and right after they tried to do the deed, like she left in a hurry. Like, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it was just a dream. I don't know if it was my intuition trying to tell me just to get out of the relationship. But I know for sure my gut instinct was always telling me not to trust him. And I don't. I'm never going to trust him. I'm never going to feel at ease because he lies. He lies to himself. He lies to his family. He lies to me. He lies to the world. And he's going to try to blame me for things going wrong in the relationship. And he's going to try to find a girl to replace me. But he's just going to find out you're going to have problems in every relationship with every girl you meet. And I was actually someone that was trying to fix our relationship. I would try to communicate with you and I would explode because I had enough. I had enough of your juvenile behavior. And, you know, weak men are going to try to look for a weak woman that puts up with their BS. He's going to look for a woman where he can get away with this behavior so he doesn't have to change. Because having to change means acknowledging that he did me a lot of wrong. That involves accountability. He doesn't like to blame himself. He likes to put the blame on everyone else except him. He doesn't want to feel guilty. He doesn't want to take accountability that this is my fault. Now, I'm not saying 100% of the whole relationship was his fault, but I definitely got tired. I got tired of feeling like I'm the only one that was trying to fix the relationship. I got tired of feeling disrespected. I got tired of feeling like I got tired of having to like even give him reasons to be with me. Like I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't have to give a guy reasons to be with me. Like my guy friend was right. A guy knows if he wants to be with you or not. And my ex was just trying to find something local because he's needy and desperate for a girlfriend. And that's the thing. He doesn't care like about the quality of a girlfriend. He just wants an attractive girlfriend. That's it. He doesn't care about like who she is, about her values, like for her loving him for who he is. I really don't think he cares about any of that. I think he just wants a girlfriend. And he doesn't matter who as long as she's pretty. As long as she gives him attention. And I learned my lesson. So that was my experience of choosing myself. Choosing myself over a narcissistic partner. or at least a partner with narcissistic tendencies. And take it from me, girls, if there's ever a moment you feel like I don't deserve to be treated like this, or my future husband would never treat me like this, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. Like, God or nature gave us women this intuition to survive. We may not have physical strength like men do, but we have a very strong intuition, and we're betraying ourselves by ignoring it. Don't ignore your intuition. Your gut's telling you something's wrong for a reason. So if you guys want to comment on your own experience, feel free to do so. But this was just my experience and my awakening that I choose myself. I choose to love myself. And I refuse to put myself in a relationship where I'm not valued, and where I'm not the priority, and where I'm not cherished. And he can never give me the love that I need. And that's okay. It just means I can be the whole package at the wrong address. And I was at the wrong address. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching all the way through.